So I know that, and I totally agree with you that we have to change the way how we think.
Exactly.
But we are in Eastern Europe, and we have this kind of mentality of that it's not possible. You know, it's like magic. You know, all these. I wouldn't just say that negative things, but just not criticism. What's the word I'm looking for? These objections.
Yes.
How should we, if we are in this environment,
Yeah.
how should we handle it? Because that can come from friends, from
Exactly.
relatives, from some close people.
Yes.
So it's not that easy if you start going on this journey.
Yes, it's absolutely true. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So, and you mentioned that the environment is very important, and that's completely true. So we know from studies that the 5 people we surround ourselves most, they have an amazing influence over our thinking. And so what we can do is consciously choose the people we know they can help us. So like a coach or a mentor or people who are already successful, who are already there where we want to go. This is very important because I totally agree that the environment is very important. So if you have all the time people around you who are negative, who don't believe in you, it's almost impossible, I would say, to be successful or to progress on your way.
Oh, absolutely, and these are usually coming from very close people. Now, yes, you're right that we can choose who we be friends with, who we do business with, etc. But when it comes to like family, then that's a different issue because that's something that you can't really choose.
It's true.
Yeah.
There is one sentence I want to say about this: don't go as often and don't stay as long.
Yeah, good one. I think that's a good tip for us. Yeah, absolutely. When did you change? When did you start your journey? Where you got here, right?
Yeah, it was. I started to become a coach already 17 years ago. So the first 5.5 years were really up and down. And what I said here, the movie The Secret, it opened something up for me that I realized first that much more is possible than I ever thought, and the second was that I'm sabotaging myself. I was not aware of it. And as I said, I had a very limiting self-image, and I really had to invest a lot of time and money in my personal development and in my business to grow. So I had great coaches in my life, also before Bob Proctor, and we have a same coach with JT also and his coaches. So I invested, I would say now in the last 17 years, about more than 100,000 euros just in my personal development. But this, from some people, it may seem wow. I mean, it was not at once, but I decided to invest in myself because even Warren Buffett said, what you invest in yourself, it's the best investment. And I even invested money sometimes that I didn't have. I borrowed money because I knew if I do this, then it will help me to go to the next step. And that's why this decision part is so important. If you just let your outside circumstances say, I'm in this situation now, I cannot do this, then you will always be stuck. You have to move, you have to go out of your comfort zone and really make this it takes how do you call this in English? Courage. It takes courage to do this step and really get the right people to surround yourself with.
Yeah, during your presentation you mentioned about imaging and having pictures in our mind what goals we want to achieve.
Yes.
But then I think we are quite realistic that it's not going to happen overnight,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And it also doesn't happen if we don't put some work into it. So
Exactly.
we can't just imagine that we are going to be, let's say, a multi-million-dollar business owner and then sitting at home and doing nothing, right?
This wouldn't work. Of course, yeah. So it's absolutely necessary, of course, that we do the things. And the interesting part with my clients also was that some clients said, "What I learned from you, it was nothing new. I knew everything because I did seminars and I was reading books, but I didn't apply it consistently in my life." And this is where I show the difference between how your conscious mind works and how your subconscious mind works. So if you study how we are learned and conditioned to study in school just to gather information, you are not going to change your paradigms. So to change the paradigms, it's through a process of repetition every day, like you brush your teeth every day, you shower every day, you eat every day. We take care of our body, but when you think about this graphic, the mind is much bigger. Why? Because the mind is indeed responsible for the results what we get in our life. So we have to create habits where we train our mind every day the same way, or even take much more effort into this. So not to focus so much on I have to do this and I have to do that, but we have to first change our paradigm. Then the habits, the things that we do, our behavior will change. And this is what I wanted to show with this graphic. What we do, we want to change our behavior because we know when we change our behavior, we will get different results.
Absolutely.
But the behavior will not change on the long term when we don't change our paradigm. So we have to change the paradigm first. And this happens through repetition, through coaching and mentorship over a reasonable period of time.
Well, exactly, the coaching, I just wanted to mention that's why it's good to have a coach or have several coaches, because they're there to kick you at the right time, at the right point, when you need that, because your family probably will not do that, because they worry that what's going to happen to you, they worry that what's going to be, if it's not going to happen as you imagined, and so I think that's when a coach is really good, and also the coach can be giving you a different perspective, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's very important. I mean, as you said, I mean, if somebody else says, "Oh, do you think, what if it doesn't happen?" And then they nourish your doubts in your mind, and this is, of course, not very helpful. So it's really important to get coaching and mentorship. And I mean, I know that we met through a seminar.
Through a coaching seminar, yes.
And so you are doing a great work as well, with what you are doing, because you got coaching and mentorship.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that when it comes to like Mega Success Expo, that is the main reason that I really want to help changing people's mindset towards things.
Exactly.
So like I've been at home for over a week now, and all I see that the political situation is this, but I know that I can make decisions that will influence my business, and I can take it to the next level, which has nothing to do with the political situation.
Exactly. And that's also with economy. My business has nothing to do with the economy outside. If I can create really my own economy, everybody can create their own economy. So, and we have to just make the right decisions. And we know from the history that even in the worst economic situations, there were corporations and companies who were grown and who started to fly. I mean, Coca-Cola, for example, they became big in the Big Depression. And so there are many examples of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that we know each other, and I know that you have several coaches, but how many coaches do you have currently?
I have now from the Procter Gallagher Institute, I take several coaches. We have, for example, I have one coach from there, which I talk to twice a week. So, and I was in May on the consultant training with Bob Proctor there. There is 1 week, and I will be there in September again for a week. So I am constantly studying every day and getting every 3 to 4 months a bigger seminar, like brainstorming with these high-level people. And yes, it's really constantly. And sometimes then I take to like last year I was investing a lot in marketing and branding, and so these were different coaches specialized for this. So this would be my advice. Also, just look at the people, or where do you want to go? Is this person you want to learn from, is it there where you want to go? And does this person have the success in the area where you want to be successful? And then you go there. So before I went to LA, for example, I had one voice coach. I did 2 lessons just with him to prepare myself for this speech in LA. And so you just look in the area where you want to get better results, and there you take the best coaches.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And tell me that what is the proudest moment you have with a client?
Oh, I think about one client. He is now about 2 years working with me, and in the first 3-4 months of the cooperation, he was like multiplying his business, like his income, about 4 times. And I'm talking with my clients about making their annual income into their monthly income. So he now, after 2 years...
Okay, can I just stop you here?
Yeah.
So did you hear that? They're making the annual income into a monthly income. And sometimes that can be a huge amount to take in. Yeah. That, okay, let's say that I'm earning 40,000 euros a year, and I can actually do that in a month.
Exactly.
And that's a big thing to take in.
Yeah. Actually, I did it. You know, when I first heard this from my mentor, you can make your annual income into your monthly income, I thought, yes, he can do it, she can do it, you can do it, but not me. And this is where the self-image part comes in. And then one time I said, why not? I think it's possible. And so I created a different image of myself, and I created a different goal. And I did it, and I'm still multiplying. And yes, my client now, after 2 years, in this year, he's making his annual income into his monthly income. Yeah.
But then there is work in it. Yeah, of course.
It's working it, but it's not more time, basically. You don't, because you are just leveraging your business, and you start to work differently. If you think about millionaires, you know, of course they put a lot of work into it, but they don't work that hard, you know. It's not to work yourself into exhaustion. It's not that you are obsessed, like possessed by your business. It's just that you start to think differently. And as you said, to create such an event, it's just possible with a team. So I created a team I'm working with, and I attracted a lot of great people into my life. And without that, it's not possible. You cannot create great success alone on your own. It's not possible.
Absolutely. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
And then I pass it back to Colin.